guys, I'm Shamsida. You may know me as Sharmi from Instagram and TikTok. And today we're going to be cooking ayam masak merah and nasi minyak. Okay, so to start off the recipe, we're going to be cooking our nasi minyak first. I've got my pot over here and I already have some basmati rice that I've already pre-soaked and drained. Okay, and we're going to use this for the nasi minyak. And of course, we're going to get some water from the onyx first. Okay, so for the nasi minyak, I've got 3 cups of basmati rice that's already pre-soaked and drained. And I want to use 1.5 times the amount of water. So the ratio of rice to water is 1 to 1.5. So I have 4.5 cups of water over here, and I have 3 cups of soaked and drained basmati rice. Now we're going to start cooking. Okay, so we're going to heat up the pot first, and then we're going to add some ghee. I've got some homemade ghee. You can definitely use store-bought ghee. But you know me, I'm a little bit extra, so I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of ghee. It is Hari Raya, and you want to be a bit more generous with your flavorings of your ingredients. So this is like a zoomed up version of the normal ayam masak merah and nasi minyak. Because I have a few other ingredients that I don't normally put when I cook this recipe, but it's there because it's Hari Raya. Everything needs to be super delicious. So while the ghee is melting, I have over here some sliced red onion, and we're going to add that to the ghee. And what you want to do is to get the onions to be very translucent and very fragrant. So while the onion is sauteing nicely, we're going to add what we call empat sekawan. Translation literally means 4 friends. And these 4 friends are cinnamon, star anise, cloves, as well as green cardamom pods. We're going to add this into the pot as well. And again, it's going to be a flavor bomb. Then I'm going to be adding pandan leaves as well. I'm going to give this a stir. You don't want to burn your onions, so just make sure that your heat is controlled. And then now I can add my rice. So you want to lightly stir the rice. Just be careful because you don't want to break the rice grains. Okay, be gentle. Okay, you want to saute it with all the aromats for a bit, and then we're going to add our water. Okay, and of course I forgot to add salt. So normally people would use a rice cooker to cook their rice, but I don't have a rice cooker. I'm a traditional kind of girl. I like to cook my rice in a pot on the stove. I will bring the water up to a boil, and then once the water is boiling, you just monitor the flame for a bit. It usually takes about 15 minutes, and then once it starts to bubble and once the water has been absorbed, like maybe about 70% by the rice, you want to switch off the flame and you want to cover it quickly because you want to let the rice cook with all the hot steam that's happening over there. Okay, so now we're going to start on our ayam merah. First things first, we're going to marinate our chicken because what we're going to do is we are going to air fry it. Now traditionally, we deep fry the chicken. But I am a young millennial, I've got no time for that, and especially I've got 2 young kids running around the house. You know, Malay cooking, there's a lot of deep frying involved. What I do, I just dump everything in the air fryer and it's easy peasy, job's done. Okay, so make sure your chicken is clean, washed and dried, and then we're gonna add some salt. Why we add salt before we add the turmeric or any other flavorings is because we want the chicken to absorb the salt flavor so that it'll be more flavorful. And then now we're going to add our turmeric powder. That was anticlimactic. Now we're gonna add our turmeric powder. And then now we leave it aside, and then we will continue with our sambal. So I have over here some onions, some garlic and some ginger. We're going to blend this into a smooth paste. Okay? Don't worry about cutting it too finely because it goes into the blender in the end. We're going to add water just enough to cover the ingredients, and then we're going to blend this baby up. So now the chicken has been sitting nicely for about 15 minutes. We're going to air fry it, and we do it concurrently as we're doing the sambal so that you'll be done with the cooking by the time the sambal is done, and then the rest is done. It doesn't have to be fully cooked because we still want it cooked in the gravy. So this goes in the air fryer for 20 minutes at 200 degrees. Okay, so I have my pan preheating over here. I'm just going to add some oil. Let's use any vegetable oil you have. Doesn't have to be fancy, but please don't use olive oil for Malay cooking, okay? Just please don't. Now the oil is hot, we're going to add the rempah just now. And of course, I have my dried chili paste. Okay. You want it on like a medium-low heat. You don't want it too hot. Otherwise, the rempah might burn. And what you want to do is you want to bring this to a tempered stage. Tempered, aka pecah minyak. And I have a friend who speed dials me whenever she's cooking Malay food. She's like, how do I know it's pecah minyak? And she'll literally FaceTime me and like, is the oil ready? Is the oil ready? So this video is for you, Moon. Please watch. You will know when it's pecah minyak, when the rempah is ready. So we're gonna take our time here with the rempah and just keep stirring. Fun fact, when I first started cooking, this was the only thing my mom would let me do. Stir the pot. If there was burnt bits, that's it. She'll be screaming at me, don't burn my rempah! And I'm like, okay, I'll keep stirring, I'll keep stirring. So you want to cook the onion and garlic and ginger paste first, and then you add in the dried chili paste. Mainly you want to remove all the water that has been added to the paste just now as much as possible before adding the chili paste. Now traditionally, you want to cook it on a very low heat because to get to the pecah minyak stage, you need at least probably like 20 to 30 minutes. But I always cheat. I play around with the fire. I will increase the fire and then reduce it, increase and reduce it. The downside of doing that is that you just have to be standing over the stove. So yeah, if you want to go away from the stove and not stir the rempah, you can just put it on the lowest heat that you have and leave it alone for a while, for like 5 minutes, and then come back to it and stir again. Because this will take some time, and if you really want this to be delicious, you gotta love it and leave it alone. Alright, okay, it's almost there. So once you start to see that the oil is separating, literally pecah minyak, you see that when I push the rempah, there's like oil seeping through and there's like the separation of the rempah. That's when it's almost ready. I like to dry it up a little bit more before I add the rest of the ingredients. So now that the rempah is almost ready, we are going to add our sliced red onions, just for an added crunch and added texture. And then I'm going to add daun pandan again, and then some lemongrass, as well as the 4 friends again. Similar rempah that we used for the rice just now. So again, cinnamon, star anise, cloves, as well as cardamom. Okay, so this is extra. I usually don't add coriander root, but again, it's Hari Raya. I like to zing things up a little bit so that it will be more flavorful, more special. I'm just going to add in some coriander roots. And I have over here some tomato paste. You can see that the mixture is getting a little bit too thick, so what you want to do is you want to add bit by bit some water. Okay? So you already got your acid in the tomatoes and you've got your heat in the chili and the rempah. So we're going to add salt later on. And my secret ingredient, chili sauce. So this is actually a good recipe to get rid of all those, take away chili sauce you have. Just add in 1 packet, should be enough. Okay, and then we're going to add sugar. And once we add sugar, you will see that the color dramatically changes. Some water as well. Just now it was a bright orange and it's starting to slowly go to a dark red. And that's what you want. I like my ayam merah to be a little bit saucy. Just gonna add a bit more water so that there's some gravy when you eat it with your rice. Then I'm going to add some chopped coriander. So this is not for garnish, this is for flavor. I like to add a little bit of chopped coriander to make it even more flavorful as well. Okay, add a little bit more water and then we're gonna leave it to cook for a while. And of course we need some salt. Okay, we are going to add our chicken and give this a nice stir and then we can serve. So I'm just adding the chicken that has been air fried into the gravy and then I'm going to put it back on the stove for like 5 minutes just to finish off that cooking and that chicken absorbs all the tomato goodness. Alright, so our rice is ready as well. I'm going to open this pot and you're going to smell the goodness of the nasi minyak. It smells really, really good. See that the rice is very fluffy. You want to be gentle because you don't want to break the rice grains. And there you have it, guys. Ayam masak merah with nasi minyak. Perfect for your Hari Raya hosting this year. From me to you, Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Maaf Zahir dan Batin.